And how's it going, everyone? It is Skullzi here with the latest gaming news, rumors, and speculation. Today I have a mixed loot bag of Starfield stuff for you all, from a speculative but exciting community discovery to some breaking news regarding new confirmed information that Bethesda hid in plain sight this entire time. Since we have a couple small but fairly interesting topics to cover today, let's not waste any more time and get straight into today's content. Let's start by breaking down the more speculative discovery before we get to the more confirmed information. Both of these discoveries come from the community actually, but seeing how this first discovery was something I had to go and source and kind of discover myself, I am unable to credit the community member who found this, but I believe it was most likely Oda though, somebody who has been credited with numerous Starfield and other Bethesda discoveries in the past. Although Oda isn't necessarily as active as they used to be in the community, he is still out there hustling and finding new topics of discussion. This first one though comes to us from ye old LinkedIn. Before the days of the consistent official Starfield updates, LinkedIn was the place to go lurking for new Starfield info. We actually got a decent amount of confirmed information from LinkedIn profiles exactly like this in the past. Today's LinkedIn discovery though requires a little bit more of that speculation salt and even a healthy dose of skooma, but it could potentially be even further evidence suggesting that spaceflight will indeed be something within Starfield, something more than just say a loading screen or a fast travel event. To get this information though, we need to head over to the LinkedIn profile of Matt Gawalak, who has been a senior software developer within the gaming industry for over 10 years, starting his career over at Volition, working on Saints Row and also Red Faction. Since April of 2016 though, Matt has been a senior gameplay engineer at Bethesda Game Studios, working on combat systems, artificial intelligence, animation, flying AI, which is a key focus here, and weapons. But now Matt is over at BGS Austin, which is the primary development location for Fallout 76. With this in mind, many of you may already be dismissing Oda's discovery as simply just being associated with only Fallout 76 and not Starfield. However, it's been confirmed so many times now that Bethesda Game Studios shares project loads, meaning Bethesda Game Studios Maryland utilizes their specialists across the board to work on major projects. So a Bethesda Game Studios Austin specialist definitely assisted Bethesda Game Studios with their projects, just like id Software helped Bethesda Game Studios with Fallout 76. And that's not even a Bethesda Game Studios studio, that's just a different Bethesda software studio, which means that Matt Gawalak, an AI and particularly a flying AI specialist, definitely assisted with the development of Starfield 100%, regardless of the fact that he's over at Bethesda Game Studios Austin and not Maryland. The chances of that being certain are almost so high that it's basically undebatable. This is even more realized when, like I said, id Software specialists are almost completely credited with making Fallout 76's engine problems get fixed. Matt, after all, seems to also be like one of the only people solely responsible for implementing the flying AI for vertibirds and other in-game entities into Fallout 76. With this in mind, it seems almost certain that if spaceflight was indeed a mechanic in Starfield, that Matt Gawalak would have his hand in it, and seeing how Fallout 76 was released in 2018, Matt would almost certainly be deep in another major development cycle, which of course would be Starfield. No doubt he'd have workloads involving future updates and improvements for Fallout 76, since that game is still very much alive and getting consistent new content, and no doubt there may also be a Bethesda Game Studios Austin project in the works other than Fallout 76 that he could be assisting with. However, lurking Bethesda Game Studios LinkedIn profiles other than Matt's doesn't seem to quite indicate anyone else within the entire studio who specializes within flying artificial intelligence. So if anyone was to be Starfield's flying AI person, it would definitely be this guy right here. Of course, like I said, this doesn't immediately verify anything, but it's still a small piece of evidence adding to the fact that we most likely will be able to fly our spaceship in Starfield, including the NPCs flying their spaceships as well. But let's move on from speculation land and get into something a little bit more exciting and a lot more confirmed. This next topic comes to us from Oda again, and I can directly credit him this time for this discovery, as I was able to track down where he initially shared it within the Skullzi Discord server, which you should totally join, by the way. Link is down in the description below. This discovery comes to us from the official Starfield update video, The Endless Pursuit, which gave us some exciting new information and visuals for this game. And this is something that has been hiding in plain sight for some time now, indicating that even more secrets might be awaiting discovery in these Constellation log videos. Within literally the first 10 seconds of The Endless Pursuit, we're greeted with Todd showing off his book collection here, his space books. At first though, many believe these books were real-life texts that Todd Howard and friends would study and reference while building the world world of Starfield, since Todd stated numerous times now that the game is grounded more in reality than fantasy, and that every piece of technology is tied almost to real-world scientific progression for the most part. Space anime man Elon Musk even helped Todd out with a few things, with the two apparently forming a space friendship over the development process of Starfield. With all this in mind, with Todd stating Starfield's technology would make sense for the most part and be tangible and believable, and with friend Elon in tow, many in the community, myself included, didn't necessarily look into these books that much since we just assumed that they were utilized for Starfield world building, and at the same time I doubt many of us are actual rocket scientists or engineers who would benefit from actually really reading or having previous knowledge about these books. But we were wrong about the books existing in real life. Oda and several other community members decided to activate librarian mode and try to look these actual books up themselves in a land known as real life, and they found absolutely nothing. I even googled these books myself and found also absolutely nothing. So unless Oda and I and the majority of the community just simply have no idea as to how to look up books on the internet, which I kinda doubt, then what would all this mean? What do these books not existing in real life even mean? Well, first off, these books, this image here during this video doesn't look like it's in-game footage. I believe they are indeed in the same room as Todd here during this video, which means they are decoration. But why? I doubt Bethesda paid for these books to be created artificially just for a brief 3-second blurry shot in a trailer, so they must have more tangible meaning to them. Here's what I and the community think as of right now. These books are actual Starfield lore books, books that give us insight into the science, technology, history, and the setting of the game. Now, I doubt these books are actually full of text that we could walk up to and just crack open and read. They're actually most likely just empty blank pages in real life, or likely they don't even have pages at all and they're just the decorative style of book that is just the binding and the spine itself. I could be wrong about that. Bethesda might have went hard with the IRL Starfield lore planning and legit printed up several college-sized textbooks about somewhat made-up technology, but that just doesn't make sense. Instead, here's what I think is going on here. These are indeed real-life decorative representations of in-game Starfield lore books. Just like the Elder Scrolls and in some ways Fallout, we'll be able to gain lore and in-game knowledge about Starfield's universe via accessing computer terminals or books exactly like these in the game. Obviously, the books in the game won't be like 900-page university research textbooks, but like the Elder Scrolls, the books will instead appear to be huge books but just happen to have like 10 to 20 pages within them, so chances are very high that Todd legit teased us in-game lore books for Starfield in plain sight during the first 10 seconds of the Endless Pursuit, which is just nuts that this has been hiding this entire time. What else is out there for us to find, Todd? And sure, this isn't 100% necessarily confirmed, but really no other scenario would make any sense at all. It just doesn't add up for Bethesda to create several fake books that don't exist in real life only to utilize them during 3 seconds of a trailer. These books have to exist somewhere in a larger capacity, and right now Starfield is that only other somewhere. Of course, Oda and I could be wrong, and Todd literally just spent money on decorative books just to throw us off for no reason, but that doesn't make any sense. As for the books themselves, they seem to be textbooks based on the principles of exploring space within the future of Starfield's universe, as well as what appears to be a scientific mathematical breakdown of the dynamics regarding liquid rocket fuel, which these is kind of crazy. Likely these books will be like 5 to 20 pages, like I said, within Starfield itself, and will help immerse us in the game while expanding and describing the technology we'll be experiencing. But this is basically everything I wanted to talk about in today's video. Let me know what you think about all these discoveries down in the comments below. Let me know if you think like we're onto something here, and you could have a chance at having your comment get featured in a future video. And as always, thumbs up if you enjoy the content. Be sure to subscribe to help the community and the channel grow. It helps out a lot more than you might think. And huge shout out, much love and appreciation to the following amazing people for supporting the channel and the community. I can't express this enough. You have helped out a lot by supporting the channel, and I love you all. You can get your name added to this permanent future video shoutout list and partake in this love by supporting the channel over on Ko-fi, Patreon, or here on YouTube as an exclusive channel member. Links for all this and more are down in the description below, as well as a link for Skullzi merchandise since the holidays are coming up, and the Skullzi Discord server. And as always, thank you for watching. Be sure to tune in next time when there'll probably be like 100 books within Starfield that have Starfield within the title.
It just works.